Hey everyone, my name's Matt, and in my lab we study questions related to the evolution and ecology of infectious disease. And so often working with this little critter here, Daphnia magna, we focus on particularly what it means to be male and female and why the differences we see between the sexes shape how a pathogen might spread through a population or evolve. And it's based on a common observation that we see differences between the sexes and the way they interact with pathogens, whether it's due to some physiological aspect, behavioral, or a genetic basis. In vertebrates and mammals, we often see that males are more susceptible to disease, whereas the reverse is true for insects and other organisms like that. And so these differences between the sexes are really common, but not often thought about in terms of disease, evolution, and ecology. And so we're looking for honours projects related to three broad sort of themes in this topic. The first is just do the differences between the sexes mean for how a pathogen might evolve? And so we've been looking at how this translates into rates of aging, how it affects co-infection dynamics and competition, the way it relates to metabolism and energy use between the sexes. And so we're broadly thinking about sex differences and transmission and virulence. We're also exploring these same sorts of topics in the context of global change. So temperatures are on the rise, but so too are distributions of pathogens, and the way sexes interact with both temperature and pathogens is quite complex. And so we've shown that females tend to be more resistant to thermal stress, but more susceptible to a pathogen. And this creates some interesting dynamics when we think about population persistence in changing environments. And the final sort of theme we're interested in is about invasion biology itself. So what are the characteristics of the pathogen that lets it spread through populations that it encounters, how males and females sort of shape this process. We have sort of down to the level of the composition of a population in terms of the sex ratio impacts how well a pathogen can invade. And so we're kind of exploring these sorts of questions as well using the Daphnia system. And so for honours, we're interested in anyone who shares a sort of passion for either conflict, invasion, ecology, global change biology, metabolic theory. Questions are really open and tailored to what student interests are. And through those things, we sort of emphasise a key sort of skill sets that everyone who comes through the lab gets. We're really strong in data science and analysis. That's what I teach within the School of Biology. That can be extended to any linear or non-linear analysis, survival analysis. We teach sort of the core infection biology principles, and there's also opportunities to learn skills in different genetic approaches or analysis. So if anyone's interested in these honours projects or interested in these topics, flick me an email. Check out our lab website if you want to see some of the more interesting papers or some of the topics we work on, and we can discuss them. Otherwise, I will see you all during the data science train for honours next semester. Good luck.